everybody. I wanted to show a couple of you guys how my sawmill works, or how it's put together. You may or may not know what an Alaskan mill is, so if you don't, Google it, YouTube it. Alaskan mill is just a type of sawmill attachment like this. So the way that I put mine together, I'm an electrician, so I have this stuff laying around work. It's called unistrut, or just strut, super strut. The technical name is channel strut. Those are all just like brand names, so just strut of some sort. So what it is it's a top frame. You see this is all on one plane, and this is the part that rides on the top of the log. And you connect these. You don't have to use these brackets, I just had them. So here's two stringers going across, and then these two are just to support, so you just make a box of some sort. It doesn't have to look exactly like this. I just put this here as a handle, and it extends down, but I usually end up, grabbing the thread or holding the trigger or something. And then the next part is these bits of all thread. These are all 1/2 inch. Everything is 1/2 inch hardware. And as you can see, hope you can see, it's just one piece of all thread. So I have nut, lock washer, flat washer, square washer, and then this is 7/8 strut. Usually it comes in 1.5 inch, so make sure you get the thin stuff. The 1.5 inch you could use, it's going to make this thing really heavy, and it's kind of unnecessary. The 7/8 is plenty strong for what this is. And then obviously I don't think I need the lock nut or the lock washer on every one of these, but I just had it, so I used it. So on the bottom you don't need the square washer, but on this open channel you need a square washer, otherwise the washer is just going to get all bent and tuck inside this hole. You can buy this at any hardware store. I got this at Lowe's. It's like $12–15 for a 10-foot stick, and I think a 10-foot stick does this mill. It'll do everything, or just about. This is a 42-inch bar for mine, but the first one I made was just for a little cheap Blue Max, Chinese-made Home Depot saw. Tap holes in the bar, and you can see I tapped holes there. I tried to just have it do a clamp, and the saw just shakes so much it'll shake itself right out of the clamp, even if I'm starting to bend the strut, tightening it down so much. So just got to do the hole. It doesn't hurt the bar. It's just a piece of metal. And as far as adjustment, what I do is I just have it set. This gap works out to be exactly 3 inches with this extra square washer and nut between these two pieces of strut and the bar and all that. This works out to 3 inches from the top surface of here to the bottom surface that rides on the log. So what I do is I'll just take a 2x4, lay it on the log, and have the 2x4. If it's a 8-foot log, I'll get a 10-foot 2x4. So I have a foot poking out on either side. And then I can hang this on it, just start going, and since a 2x4 is 1.5 inches, the first cut will take 1.5 inches off the log. And then if you get rid of the 2x4, every slab after that will be 3 inches thick. Or if you put the 2x4 back on every cut, you'll be cutting this much out of the log, 1.5 inches, 1.5 every time. And you could get rid of one of these nuts, or you could change the way that this is set up to make it smaller, but that's about as small as I can get it. And really with warpage and stuff, if you do a smaller slab than that, you might end up wasting most of your wood. What else? Oh yeah, the rope. So for this specific mill, because it's bigger, it's kind of tough to be over here, holding the trigger. Obviously you got to be over here, and then trying to push 4 feet away and try to get any real leverage. You can't do it. So what I do is I get this rope, tie it onto the end of the mill, run it all the way